Emergencies happen. They occur when you're least expecting them, and they can make your life very difficult. You can plan and prepare for their financial impact by having your own emergency money. My name is Carrie Pratt. Welcome back to my channel. I make videos about cooking, gardening, and some of the adventures that we like to go on as a family. My husband and I got ourselves out of debt by following some simple steps, and I want to share with you what we've learned. In a previous video, I talked about having an emergency fund, and I've had lots of questions about it. So I thought I'd go a little bit more in depth in this video. What is emergency money or an emergency fund? Simply said, it's money set aside for a rainy day, an emergency, job loss, or unexpected expense. Ideally, it's enough for 3 months of known expenses. But the amount for you will depend on your financial commitments. But if you're required to use it, you'll be sure glad it's there. Where do you put it? It must be safe and liquid and accessible. This is for emergencies. It's not an investment fund. It's a peace of mind and emergency fund. The money needs to be available in your time of need. Most investments have settlement period, or a time from when you request the money until it arrives in your bank account. This is typically 3 to 4 business days. So if you ask for the funds on the Friday afternoon of a long weekend, it may not arrive electronically in your bank account for a whole calendar week. And it's much longer if you request the check to be mailed to you. Also, investments can fluctuate. You do not want your emergency money to be going down when you require the funds, or risk being charged early redemption or maturity fees. The money should be sitting in a bank savings account, something that you can quickly access through online banking with a debit card or by going into a bank teller. It's also a good idea to have some cash on hand, with a good portion of it in smaller bills or coins. If there is a power or internet outage, banks usually close until the power is restored, meaning you do not have access to the money. Many stores will remain open, but go to a cash-only system. If there's a big need, the majority of people will only have larger bills, and stores might run out of smaller change, meaning you may have to pay $20 for a $7 item because there's no change to be given. I personally recommend 3 months of known expenses in a savings account at the bank that can be easily accessible, and at least 1 week of normal expenses in cash in smaller denominations kept in a safe place at your home. Some have said that they have room on a credit card or that they can get a loan from the bank. I think that's poor planning. If you need to borrow money for unexpected events, it makes the emergency worse, as you'll now have to figure out how to pay back the unexpected expense while dealing with the emergency. Interest will be working against you at some of the highest rates that are legal. It will turn an already tough situation worse. With finances, it's important to plan and prepare instead of fix and repair. I hope you never have to access your emergency fund. We needed some sewage work done on our home a few years ago. We had not planned for this expense. We were so glad we had money set aside in an emergency fund to help cover the cost. Right after that major expense, we spent the time working really hard to put the money back into the emergency fund and build it back up to the 3 months of expenses. I was so glad that we had that. So where is the best place for your emergency fund? It's in a savings account in the bank that's easily accessible, and to have at least 1 week's worth of cash in smaller bills and coins safe at home. Do you already have an emergency fund, or are you saving right now? Have you got your $1,000 first, or are you at the mark where you have 3 to 6 months of your expenses saved already? Let me know what you did in order to get to the stage where you can say that you have an emergency fund. What steps did you take to make that possible? Thanks for letting me share this video with you. Hopefully I answered a few of the questions you have about an emergency fund. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I post new content once a week, and I would love to have you as part of this community. As we learn and grow together, we can help each other become the best versions of ourselves. I hope that you have a great week, and I will see you next time.